400 years before Las Vegas happened, Spanish conquistadors kept trying to find it. They were sure that somewhere to the north and west, across the great deserts, there would be a city of gold and light, incredible riches, eternal youth, exquisite pleasures, an intoxicating city of riches and dreams. Expedition after expedition failed to find it, yet they were sure. They would never know how right they were, right that there was such a city, right that it lay in the great western desert. They were just wrong about when. The place itself was generating Vegas vibe, but it would need 400 more years to generate an actual Las Vegas, a city of gold. Benjamin Siegel, where do I start? Murder Inc., New York, or Las Vegas? A short doc or PSA reminder to some of what a real gangster is. I will focus on the positives since there is so much controversy. Between real life and Hollywood stories, I present what I found in my research. I can definitely appreciate this story, a man who came from an era that was extremely difficult. Post war and with so much competition, a man who reached success, a man who calculated risks. I read Ben Siegel purchased two choice homes in New York by the time he was 21. Ben was stacking, and Ben got the girl. He had both haters and congratulators. Did she get around? That's a different story. Did she make him happy? Most certainly. A visionary with apparently no limits tested authority eventually to his demise, but not before he made his dream come true. His New York roots, with boss Charles Lucky Luciano and top businessman Mayor Lansky, made them ironclad, the top level mobsters, but not without major heat from the feds. Today it's a booming metropolis, Las Vegas. I will be quoting from Super Casino by Pete Early and also quoting from the Las Vegas Mob Museum website. It is at this point, the early 1940s, that writers usually mention the arrival of Benjamin Bugsy Siegel, the ruthless New York City gangster who in recent movies has been portrayed as the visionary behind the Las Vegas Strip. The way Hollywood tells the story, Siegel paused one afternoon to urinate in the desert while driving into Las Vegas from Los Angeles. As he peeled along Highway 91, Siegel was struck by a vision of colossal hotels and glittering casinos. Rising like a mirage before his eyes, of course, this never happened. Siegel did not name the strip, nor was he the first to build there. He did not even choose the spot along Highway 91, later renamed Las Vegas Boulevard, where the Flamingo Hotel was built. Alright, let's go back to our hotel now. By the time Bugsy Siegel arrived in 1946, El Rancho Vegas and the Last Frontier were booming. Siegel had been sent west in the late 1930s by his gangster pal Meyer Lansky to seize control of the mob in Los Angeles and muscle in on the horse race wires Las Vegas bookies used to send gambling odds across the country. As soon as he accomplished those tasks, Siegel tried to break into acting. He wanted to star in gangster movies, much like his friend actor George Raft. It was during a trip to Las Vegas to shake down the owner of a Fremont street club that Siegel noticed the El Rancho Vegas and the Last Frontier and bragged to a pal, I can do better. With $1 million borrowed from East Coast mobsters, Siegel bought a majority interest in a half-finished strip hotel started by Los Angeles publisher Billy Wilkerson. He promptly renamed it the Flamingo and set out to turn it into a playground for the Hollywood elite he desperately wanted to impress. During the coming months, Siegel got his mob backers to invest more and more cash until he had spent $5 million, and the Flamingo still wasn't finished. Rumors spread that he was stealing the cash. Years later, the son of Billy Wilkerson Jr., Siegel's legitimate partner in the Flamingo, told the Las Vegas Sun that his father had received a late-night visit from Siegel. Siegel told my dad, "You're going to turn over your interest to me, and if you don't give it to me, I'm going to kill you." His father quickly signed over his 48% of the unfinished hotel and fled to Paris. Siegel gave his share to his mob cronies to get them off his back. The Flamingo's grand opening on the day after Christmas in 1946 made national headlines because Siegel chartered flights, filled them with Hollywood celebrities, and flew everyone into Las Vegas to watch comedian Jimmy Durante open the resort's theater. The casino's dealers wore tuxedos, and male patrons were required to wear suits and ties. Women wore gloves. The Hollywood crowd partied for 3 days and then flew home, leaving the casino empty. Local gamblers and tourists were too intimidated to gamble there, and rumors spread that Siegel was pilfering what few profits were there. 14 days after it opened, the Flamingo closed, and only to reopen 2 months later without the tuxedos and dress code. It soon showed a steady profit, but by then Siegel's fate had been sealed. On June 20th, 1947, he was reading a newspaper in the living room of his Hollywood mansion that he had bought for his girlfriend, starlet Virginia Hill, when someone fired an army carbine 9 times through the living room window. Siegel was killed instantly. Although the murder has never been solved, police quickly theorized that Siegel was killed by his mob investors. Gus Greenbaum, who had overseen the New York mob's bookmaking franchise in Phoenix, was introducing himself as the new boss of the Flamingo, before the coroner had formally confirmed that Siegel was dead. Well, with many more questions and many more stories to tell, I now pay my final respects to legendary businessman, mobster, visionary Benjamin Siegel. A man's man, a real gangster, a rarity by today's standards. If anyone is interested in visiting Benjamin Siegel's plot, he's located at the Beth Olam Mausoleum at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery, Los Angeles, California. And to my surprise, his lifelong friend, Mo Sedway, is also buried here. Thank you for stopping by and watching my video.